Hello, I'm Pauline and this is David. We've been missing you all terribly and we're much looking forward to Monday night's beginning again, Evensong, and to us all getting back together.
Luke has asked us to say what it's like for us under coronavirus shutdown. We've been under shutdown a little longer probably than most of you because Pauline has a lung condition and gets these letters from the NHS about how she should be behaving. Now over to you, darling, to say what it's like.
Yeah, well, of course there have been challenges, but there have been for us all. Ordinary things take much more time. Shopping has to be wiped or washed, left for particular lengths of time. Aside of organising food deliveries, which have been quite challenging. But what a gift of time this has been. Our garden has never been better, and we're so enjoying it, particularly eating in it. And a time to attack those neglected corners of the house, which I think one day our children might thank us for. Time for bread making, for Joe Wick's senior exercises. Not all of you have to do the senior ones. Time to enjoy God's creation. In Genesis it says God saw that it was good at the end of each day, and we've experienced that reverberates with us as we enjoy parts of his creation. Seeing a visiting robin washing itself in our fountain, savouring the blue, blue sky, eating out.
It's also quite an intense time. I found this particularly that you don't have the day broken up in the way you normally do. You're not walking to the office, going shopping, going out for other reasons, receiving an unexpected visitor. So the day is not broken up in the same way. And also, even though we are one household, we are socially distancing so far as possible because of Pauline's condition. We're doing our best to be on camera and socially distant, so forgive us if we're not quite perfect. So, Pauline is sleeping upstairs. I'm sleeping downstairs in the gents department with our son who's based here and working from home. And at these intense times, even with the people you love most in the world, you get occasionally irritated, and you have to cope with that. But there are upsides as well. For instance, we have been involved with teaching our grandchildren as our daughter Susie homeschools. It's a bit of a relief for her. Pauline has been teaching composers from Bach to Gershwin, and artists from Bruegel to Lowry. I've been teaching poetry and Greek myths, and expect this coming week to be doing Jason and the Golden Fleece. Now I think, darling, say something about what it's like trying to keep going as a Christian at rather a trying time like this.
Yeah, well, one of the things I think most of all is that we are enormously lucky to live in this technological digital age. And so much is accessible to us that a few years ago wouldn't have been. And aside of all the wonderful ballet and films and theatre you can access, apart from news, I've been able to Zoom once a fortnight with the 8 ladies of my prayer group. This is a prayer group that's been going for 20 years. And it's wonderful, isn't it, to be emailed once a week from St. Michael's with its newsletter. And on a Sunday to watch live streaming from St. Helens. Their Sunday services with interviews, singing and sermons, and you really feel as though you are worshipping with God's community, although we're all spread out. The other thing to say about what has really kept me going is the scriptures themselves have been really fresh and relevant during this time, particularly when we read our Bibles together. And for me personally, with the background of the sort of fear of this disease, the Psalms have been hugely comforting. There's a lovely psalm I read just the other day, Psalm 62, verse 6. He only is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be shaken. My refuge is God. And a couple of days ago, I found this very reassuring verse for these uncertain days. When the earth and all its people quake, it is I who hold its pillars firm. Psalm 75, verse 3.
I'm a person who enjoys routines, or rather benefits from routines. They help to keep me going. And in my own daily time of reading the Bible and praying on my own, I'm finding there is more time than usual just to be stopped when I get to praying for a particular person and realize that I should be in touch with them about some particular thing. A lot of those people praying for have particular difficulties or challenges at the moment, and maybe on the spot send them a short email or do something later in the day, get on the phone to them, something like that. That's been a great help to me in my praying and in keeping in touch with them and being concerned for their needs. And I too am a lover of the Psalms, and I think a lovely way to begin each day at a time like this, when we could be negative, is a verse that comes in Psalm 118, it's verse 24. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, making the most of each day. And we do all look forward to seeing you all again in the flesh.
Indeed.